everyone, and good evening, and welcome back to another RaceOnOz production here from a very wet Barcelona. 5 minutes left of practice. We're on board with Dino in the ICR Bentley. He's just doing some last minute fine tuning. So not a huge turnout tonight. The weather definitely has kept the crowds away. We've got 12 cars on the grid so far. And true to form, it looks like Inzi's got pace in the Aston in the 269. Dino's in P2 with a best lap of a 53.1. And I believe it was Stu Car in P3 in practice. So we'll be hoping for a few more on the grid. Likewise in all the rooms tonight. Busy night for RaceOnOz. Oh, Dino nice and aggressive into one. I don't know how much fuel he's got on board, but this looks like a push lap. So it still looks like there's decent grip out there, despite the puddles. Bit of understeer there, through Campsa corner. Dino will be looking for a big result tonight. So let's just check in with the one and only Benji in the lovely sounding McLaren. We'll stay on board cockpit cam with Benji. Into turn one he goes. Late turn in, using a little bit of the curve. Not so much turn two. And here's turn three, long right-hander. Taking a nice wide entry. And he's a little bit down on his best lap of a 55.8. Let's go to chopper cam. So not enough cloud cover to keep the choppers out of the sky. None of that Nürburgring shot going on here, kids. We're coming at you, and nothing's going to red flag this event tonight. So Benji dialing in. Looks like could be a bit of puff of smoke out the back, but presumably that was water. So they'll all be on wet tyres, even though the caption suggests he may be on dries. I don't believe it. And just a little over 1 minute left here in free practice. And of course 15-minute quali session as ever. 12 cars on the grid tonight. And it's going to be another hotly contested event here in the RaceOnOz ACC Season 4 Teams Championship. Proudly brought to you by the Gamesmen. So he's going to jump back to the pits. Last minute changes. Stu, lots of boys. Let's check out Vert and the other green McLaren. Coming out of the last corner. And did he get across the start-finish line in time? We'll soon find out. So, Chopper Man's getting a bit low in the skies, daring to bring you awesome shots. McLaren with a bit of TC kicking in late into turn 3, into turn 4. That might be Repsol. Certainly was a cracking finish to the MotoGP race here the other night. Oh, he's sliding. So, Bert's getting sorted. Definitely got the TC up in that setup. There's plenty of ways to tango. So we had a fantastically exciting race here last week in Pro. Vicky Chan taking out the win. And River with an excellent P2 on the night. And we'll see if these boys can get anywhere close to those stupendously quick laps. 51s that they were doing in the wet a week ago, the Pro boys. But M1 tonight. And 12 cars on the grid. So only takes 12 to have a party. And we'll soon be clicking over to quali. And there it is. Right on cue. So they're all heading out. We just need to wait until someone actually gets on track, until I can have control of the controls. I hope. Let's find out. Let's just quit back to the... That's it. And here we go. So, let's check in with the big Les in the Beamer. Almost good enough to win the Nürburgring 24-hour, which of course turned into about a 3.5-hour sprint on the weekend. But alas, not quite good enough to beat Kevin Escher in the Manthey Grillo Porsche. But big Les in the Beamer. He'll be looking for a huge result tonight. Let's get on board. Oh, that's how tough he is. He doesn't even use windscreen wipers. That's fantastic. Big Les, hardcore Beamer. Oh, look at that. He's nailed the line. So here we go. These are the first two boys on track to come across, take the start finish line. So that's Mersey Blue in the 222 Ferrari P&L, just ahead of Les in the 389. And here we go. Let her rip, big Les. We'll stay on board, see what he can do for his first flyer. Always exciting. Up to 6. Oh, 258 clicks an hour, so he's got some good straight line speed. And that's lovely into turn 1 and 2. Short shift into 3. As he heads into 3. So nice and clean from Big Les. As he heads up the hill into Kamsa for the first time at speed. Oh, down to second, back to third, a little bit of the inside curve. So definitely using the gearbox to help settle the car through the last corner. That was nice and smooth. So he's got a good exit. What's he got? Can he go P1? He's got to beat a 54.1 and it's a 54.4. So Mersey, Les, Shamrock, they're the first boys and they're in the 54s. Let's check out the GRT, the paint scheme on this beautiful big Beamer. Doesn't look quite as wet from Chopper Cam. Chopper getting nice and close to the bridge and the trees. Daring fuckers that they are. So big night for Big Les, and it's great to have him on the team. Good looking paint scheme for the GRT, the number 389. Let's check in with the always sounding fabulous Audi of Psycho. GRT once again. Oh, wrong one. Here's the beautiful V10 screaming at you under the Audi Sport Bridge. Oh, and he's caught the outside curb and sent it into a beautiful drift. Heading up the hill. Oh, the Audi looks hairy on turn-in. So, Stu with an early provisional pole for the BHR boys. Nice through the last sector from Psych. What's he got? He's a little hairy earlier in the lap, but this looks to be a push lap. What's he got? P7, that's a 54.6. So Psych's going to need to be a bit smoother in order to make it a bit further up the grid. 260 clicks an hour. So the Audi not slow down the straight. He's up by a tenth and a bit in sector 1. 10th and a half. So Psych going green, so he's on a better lap. Let's go on board with the Shamrock. So as ever, the beautiful beastly Bentley curring along. Oh, taking lots of the inside curve there. Let's go to the external shot. So Shamrock for SAR. Using a lot of the curbs. And he stays P4. A little bit slower that lap. His best is a 54 flat. So the quick boys are in the 53s. So similar times to what we saw in the practice session. And he's already a 10th up through turn 1. Early turning into Repsol. Nice tight line. And he's 3.5 tenths up. So Shamrock's looking good to improve and go into the 53s. Which of course he'll need to challenge for pole here tonight. AM1 Season 4 Round 3. A RaceOnOz production here on Knights Guns TV. Just under 6 minutes left here in quali. And we'll see how the lap with Shamrock, because he's on a good lap. He's up 6.5 tenths. Oh, he's just lost a bit on the exit of the hairpin, but it's still looking good. Beautiful tight line through there, making up even more time. And through this nasty, fussy, bloody pedantic, bit pathetic chicane through the last corner. He's lost a ton of time through there. Good 2.5 tenths. Has he made it up? Can it get him into the 53s? And it's yes, but not improving the place. So he's going to have to find a bit more pace. Into the 52s. P2. So let's go and check out what's happening at the pointy end. Dino with a 52.6. So, oh, and he's got traffic. So that's not going to help. Bit of, you know, just how's your mama through turn 2. Let's check in with Dino. He's coming across the line again. Can he improve? No, he cannot. But good lap from Dino. So he's in contention yet again. Tough start to the season. He'll be looking to get it back on track tonight in the gorgeous Papaya ICR Bentley. Let's go on board with Dino. Lots of Bentleys I know, kids, but that's just how it is. There's lots of them because it's the best car. Certainly rotates nicely. So we've had one more join us, so we're up to 13. So might get a few last minute ring-ins. 3 minutes left in quali. Nice through last sector, but it looks like that was a void lap. So Dino sets off once again. We're going to go and check in with a beautiful Aston Martin for Vinci now that he's found some clean air. Turn 3, nice tight line through there, smooth on the wheel. Not changing any of those gorgeous buttons, so he's obviously happy. That's hilarious. He's in the Aston. but he's got his Nissan Nismo gloves on. So some controversial sponsorship going on. Oh. So Incy pushing hard. He wants that pole. Oh, huge amounts of curb. Heading up the hill, and once again, Aston deals with those curbs quite easily. Oh, and that was huge turn in. It's rotated a little too much. So Incy's going to have one more chance. So a lot of these boys have parked it up. Let's go on board with Stu. See what he's got. It's coming up on the back of one of those P&L Ferraris. Oh, and he's very close to his PB, so he's flickering green. Just needs to nail this last little bit. Pain in the ass every time through here. He's up, he's down, he's up, he's up, he's up, he's down. Oh, it's going to be so close, but he's got time for one more. So he's going to be green by the width of a bee's dick. Stays P3. He's improved by 3 1,000. No, sorry, slower by 3 1,000. Oh, and he's had enough. He's heard me. He's had enough. So back to the pits. Incy on a flyer. Itzy's off. Dino is on a flyer. So it's looking good for pole for Dino. Let's check out these trackside cameras. See what sort of perspective we've got. Look at that. Dino's almost up by 3/10. Oh, and he's lost it all. So he's finding the limits. Down by half a second now, but a 52.6. That's a great lap from Dino. And he may not realise that everybody else in contention for the pole has parked it up, and he may have just realised it. Sounds like a massive throttle off, and he's pulled off. And it's all over. Send the postcards to your mama. Dino on pole. The 503 Bentley for ICR. So these boys will be looking for a big result tonight. So the rain's continuing to come down. And I think it's pretty much guaranteed that it will be a wet race. So someone's on track, so certainly they might be able to finish a lap. So Big Les has ended up 6th, so good effort from Les. 1.4 back of Dino. Mersey 1.3, Shamrock 1.1, and then close at the front. So 3.5 tenths back to Stu. Couple of tenths Incy. And then Syke ended up 7th in the Audi. Someone's just testing out their starting procedures in the background. CK and Daz, 8th and 9th, so nice and solid from them yet again. Benji into the top 10, 3 seconds back of the pole. And then we've got Andy, Robbo, and the Vert Wheeler. So it's saying 14. Hopefully we do have the 14th, the 169. So there are no numbers doubling up, so we could be on for 14 tonight. Hopefully we've had good turnouts in Pro-Am and Am2. Hey Vic, how's it going, dude? So I think we're in for a good one tonight. These front three boys are all close in pace. It's going to be, yeah, exactly. It's a great lap from Dino. Always very satisfying to get a really nice quick lap in tricky conditions. So it's close to the front three, and then the next three are also very close, and then the next 3, 4, 5 are all pretty close as well. So I expect Psych definitely to have a little bit more race pace. So here we are.
Right, there is some rain in this session, so watch out for slippery curves and remember to brake earlier.
That's right. Watch out for the slippery conditions and remember to brake earlier. So Klaus, the team engineer, on the horn to all the drivers. Back to 13. So that probably makes a little bit more sense. So can we change? We can. Look at this. Look at that. Nice shot of all the cars on the grid. So we've got 3 from ICR. We've got 3 from SAR. We've got 3 from BHR. 2 banana PNLs. And a couple of GRTs. So that is a good looking bag of licorice all sorts. I think we're on for a good race tonight. So top 2 cars from each team scoring points for the championships. Important to remember. So they are able to work together. But it'll all be about just getting a smooth start and trying to get into a rhythm as soon as possible around here. Everyone should know Barcelona pretty well. It's been around forever. We are, in fact, running the old hairpin rather than the new turn 10, it must be, that the F1 and the MotoGP boys.
30 seconds.
So we're old school here at ACC. And the engine's just starting to fire up now. Cars coming down off the grid, off the jacks. And we'll be underway very soon.
10 seconds.
So let's check out the other camera angle, and we've got all the options. Can we go on board? We can. So he's going to click it into first gear, and away we go. And here we go. So Dino's getting things underway. Leave on board, it's that one. Let's go external. That's good, nice low camera shot. And that's chopper cam, trackside low, trackside 4. So we'll just stay with this one. So everyone's underway. And I'll be riding the brakes, getting some temperatures into the discs to get a little bit of heat soak into the wheel rims and into the carcass of the tyres. But it'll definitely be at least a lap, if not 2, to really get the tyres up to pressure, which means that, of course, it's always tricky, these double file starts here in ACC. So good luck to all the boys tonight. It is a real test. Oh, and Incy's gone around. He's doing donuts on the infield on the warm-up lap. That's how cool he is. That's how cool he is. The session has ended. What's going on? Is that a bump steer or did something happen? So Incy will be allowed to catch up. And there he is. He's done that nice and promptly. So let's hope that's not a sign of things to come for Incy. In the PNL 269 Aston Martin, I'm a bit concerned about that graphic saying the session has ended, because it really should be beginning. So let's hope that is a... oh, I think that's actually me. Oh, I can't return. So... oh, and it has. It's sorted it. Okay, cool. So they're in Sector 3 now. Well and truly, they'll be starting to form up. Double file. Always a nervous time for a race driver. But they'll need to take a couple of nice deep breaths. You want soft hands on the wheels tonight. It's no grip it and rip it. It's not that sort of affair. So we're going to stay with the lead, boys. We've got the camera on Dino. Give us a really good shot of all the action on lap 1. But good formation from the boys. Look at that. That's pristine. And any second now, we'll be underway here. And we go. Oh, and Itzy's nailed it. Season 4, round 3. It's a drag race. Oh, this looks good. This is what we want. And who's going to have the biggest? Oh, Incy's gone way deep. What's he done? Has he done it? He's done it. So good stuff from Incy. Take the lead. Stu back to 4th. So Shammy up to 3rd. And that's Mersey up to 5th. So sensational start from the P&L boys. But it looks like everyone's got away nice and smoothly. I don't think anyone's... yep, this is looking very clean. So good work from the lads. They know it's a marathon and not a sprint. Famous lads' words they were. Oh, Incy's already looking hairy. So we'll see how the Incy Wincy Spider gets on in the wet tonight. Whether he really will be climbing up the drain spout. Such a long way to go. Green flag from the marshal. So it's all looking good. Even from the boys up the back. Oh, there's been something at the back. Couple of boys now struggling. So there has been a little bit of an incident. I'll wait until it gets to the 56-minute mark and then I'll attempt to save the replay, but that's always a dodgy affair. Shammy deep into the chicane and he's cut it, probably done Stu a huge favour there. Oh, and look at that, Dino's closed up massively on Incy. Stu's very close to Shamrock. Pit lane is open and the forecast is rain here in Spain, and they will mainly keep it on the track as best they can tonight. So, oh, Stu, he's had a look at Shamrock and he hasn't done it. So it looks like one of the ICR boys has lagged back. Maybe an incident, bit of contact maybe on the first lap. But Incy's just stretched it from Dino. Beginning of lap 2. So they're definitely racing themselves and the track as much as each other tonight. Stu having another look at Shamrock into turn 6. Nice wide entry from Dino into Camsa corner. Oh, now Stu's under attack in the background. Oh, and Stu having a look at Shammy into the hairpin. Oh, and Stu's run wide. So Stu's gone off. He's possibly done a Hamilton run too deep, but he'll get back on track. Hope for a safe re-entry. We'll attempt to save a replay. And no slots available. So sorry about that, JJ. If anyone else is out there, feel free to save a replay or two when you can. So the first two are looking good. Let's check in with Stu where he's rejoined. So P5, Psycho behind him, then CK. So it was Daz and Vert that got caught out at the beginning. Mersey as well. So after a sensational start, Mersey's had an issue, but he's going for the strategic early pit stop. So very close here, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. And then CK in 7th. Oh, Shamrock's off. So lots of action here early on. He's rejoined. Oh, it's really just about hopefully no damage at all from these off-track excursions. But that means it's going to be Les who's going to be up into P3. So he'll be spitting chips. He didn't expect glory this early on. Yeah, I agree, Vic. Those two are going to go at it all night long. Big Les, bit wide. So Stu, 1 lap later, back to P3. Or up to P3 rather. Would have been Shammy last time through in that position. So Stu has done well here on lap 2. And we'll see if those two GRT boys, Psych and Les, can stay with him. Dino less than a second back of Vinci up the front, and there they are into turn 1. So they've got a nice lead over these boys, so that's going to help them just to concentrate on their own race. Early days though. Alright, let's go a bit further back in the field and check out the Benji, and he's on the back of his teammate. So is that Robbo or is that Shammy? Go on board because it's always fun. Nice wide line, late downshifts. Oh, he's just conserving a bit of battery into turn 5. So Benji with some strategic driving in that gorgeous McLaren. The 414. Oh, and there's an SAR off, and Benji's gone off in sympathy. So that's going to allow CK to come through. So they are getting spread out early on. So obviously tricky conditions. CK in a... Oh, Bentley in the background. That must have been Andy for BHR. So tough going for these boys early on. And Benji's running TC7, ABS 4, and his brake bias at 50%. So not easy. Oh, he's running a bit wide. Oh, hairy times for Benji. That's a 59. And it was a 56 from Robbo and CK. And a 207 from Shammy. So they're all showing green on the pit. What is going on there? They're all showing green on the pits. What's going on? Maybe they don't have to do pit stops tonight. Well, we'll see who's got their smarts on and whether they decide to make the pit stops anyway or whether they trust race control. So Dino's 1.7 back of Incy. Stu, P3, Syke, Les, Robbo, Benji, CK, Shamrock and Andy, who is apparently in the pits in the 148 Bentley, and that would be for repair after his little off-track excursion if he needed... Exactly. Yeah, I wonder if it's an honesty system. It's going to be a very interesting test from the boys tonight. We might need to get management involved and make an executive. But until then, we'll push on and press on. Stay with it. So, CK's looking good. Just needs to trust himself. Bit of patience to get past Benji. Oh, and Benji's dutifully obliged. And he's going to need a safe rejoin there. In front of Shamrock. And CK's through. So, go, go, go. Alright, let's go back to the front and have a look at what's going on. So, of course, we're not 100% sure if what we're seeing is what the boys are seeing in the cars. So, I doubt very much whether they're all in a party chat. So, this is going to play out. 49 minutes left. And look at that. Stu's starting to close these two down. So, they don't want to dilly-dally. They want to get on with it. Otherwise, Stu Car and the Green Machine is going to be in contention for the win yet again. But they'll all have slightly different strategies. So, as expected, Syke has got decent pace and he's worked his way up to P4. Inzi comes across the line and that's a 53.7, 53.8 from Dino, 53.5 from Stu, and a 53.4 from Syke. So, we've got four boys who've got good race pace. So, if you've got a four-sided coin, that might help you out with a prediction here tonight. Fantastic test for these boys. So Big Les holding on to P5. So good job from Les. So GRT 4th and 5th. And Daz in P10 with a 56. So the Bentley's still able to use a huge amount of curb. And Stu really is starting to close Dino down. So if Stu's got a bit of pace, this might be Inzi's chance to get down the road, give himself a nice little buffer. He's got pace. 2.5 seconds through the chicane once more. Just kissing the inside curb, last corner, using heaps of the exit curb. So there's definitely grip out there, even though it's wet. Dino, little offline. Maybe he's trying to keep the tyres a little cool. Maybe he knows something that the others don't. Or maybe he was just trying to break the toe for Stu Car. keep an eye on those boys in the timing, and we're going to go a bit further down the field. Let's have a look at Les. Oh, yeah, let's get rid of that. Drive. Click. Click. Yeah, this one. Get some close-ups of the Beamer. So Les P5, CK up to P6. 5 seconds back of Les, and then Robbo, Shamrock, and Benji. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the pit timing. Maybe we have had a electrical glitch in the bad weather. You never know. Let's just see if we can check in with CK. Was that close? It was. Look at this. So Robbo down the inside. What's he got? Can he do it? Has he done it? He's there. CK's going to have to hold a wide line. Oh, they've done that beautifully. Perfect racecraft. So CK and Robbo going at... Oh, a hairy moment for Robbo in Sector 3. And CK's gone a little deep. So definitely tricky conditions. These boys are going to earn their money tonight. So, nice helmet colours from CK. Perfectly matching the livery. So, that's the level of detail of this game and these drivers. Passionate crew they are. CK looking solid here. So, good stuff from him. ICR's going to need a huge night in order to start crawling back up the ladder. It's a bit lonely down in P5 in the 5-team championship, but the boys have got the talent to do it. But Robbo is going to have other ideas. Okay, so let's go and have a look at the overall timing. And Stu is on Dino. Oh, and he's through already, so I've missed the action. Sorry, guys. My bad. So let's go on board with Stu. And can he see? Yep, he can see Inzi into turn 1. He's got Dino in the rear vision mirror, so Dino's going to want to stay with him. Stu's obviously got very solid race pace as expected, and Inzi's got a 6-second lead. That's 6 seconds. I repeat, Inzi has a 6-second lead. 42 minutes to go. Can he hold on? So Syke is a little further back. So the timing's definitely fluctuating as a few of the boys have a couple of moments, but definitely Stu is the man on the move. So nice and smooth on the wheel from Stu. nice and hard. So he's definitely matching close to his PB of a 53.1. He's a 10th down on that through the last corner. So Stu with low 53s, Incy with a 53.5, Stu 53.3, and Dino pits. So who the hell knows what's going to happen in that situation? Because there'll be actually no way to confirm if the game has glitched out like that. There will be no way to confirm that everybody does in fact serve their 2 stops. So, new problem for management. And at the end of sector 1, Stu's got it down to just under 6 seconds. So it looks like he and Incy have got very similar pace. Stu's got his numbers quite high. He's running TC5, ABS is at 4, and a brake bias of is at 41.9, 41%. He's on map 1. So he's letting the electronics work for him. So we're going to cut away from Stu and just head back in further in the field and on board with Syke as he's into the pits. Big Les back up to P3. CK is up to P4. Certainly a very interesting situation. Let's just see what Psycho does. Oh, wrong one. So that's about 7 seconds, so basically that's a splash and dash. It's just a very casual splash and dash compared to the F1 boys. But we are GT3, so obviously things do take a little bit longer. And looks like Syke has definitely got some damage on the front of that Audi. So he's chosen not to repair. And he just wants to get on with it. And certainly, sometimes, well, that's just it, Vic. There's no way we are possibly gonna know. There's no way you can know. So it is an honesty system, and they well, I mean, you've got options. You could simply trust everyone to do it. You could rerun it. I don't know. It's an interesting situation, but I'd be hoping that everyone would actually serve the stops. You know, stick to the script, because there were obviously no rules changed before the race, so it is a game glitch. If it is in fact, I mean, the guys might see it differently. They might still have all of that in their heads-up display as per normal, but the game that keeps on giving, maybe that's one more thing we need to report to the Kunos like sails on, merry way. Let's go back to the front. Oh, is this a bit of team strategy shenanigans? No, it's not. Vert, the gentleman driver that he is, hopping out of the way of Incy. And no doubt he'll do the same for Stu as his teammate. A little deep into the chicane. Incy's in. So I hope for these boys, and he wasn't going to get pinged by no speed limit violation. So Stu takes the lead with the 53.2. Incy in for his first stop. Big Les, if he stays out, has he gone through? 389, has he gone through? I don't think so. No, he hasn't. So that would have been Vert and Stu that's ahead. So that's Les going through now. So Les up to P2. Big night for him. So Incy stationary for, yeah, that's about the same as Syke. So they're all just splashing and dashing and slipping and sliding and having a great time. So Robbo up to P4, CK up to P3. So Incy's done well out of that. Dino's 8 seconds back, 7 seconds back. So in fact Dino might have actually made up a little bit of time, but that's quite steady as she goes. Very strange to see the Nissan Nismo gloves on the wheel of the Aston Martin. So yeah, so Incy does have the TC quite low, 3 and 5, and then ABS 4. It looks like he's got the brake bias of 17%. Does that make sense? Or is that 57? Who knows? I may need to get my glasses checked. This car is very much alive. Incy's doing a good job. So 236 for him, including the pit stop. Let's go to the external cam. Nice from Incy turn 3. He likes this thing a little bit loose. It's quick, no doubt about it. So Incy's catching back up to Robbo. Dino 7.5 to 8 seconds back, and then Shamrock another 3.5, 4 seconds back of Dino. And of course they would be the top 3 who have actually made a stop. So someone else is in the pits. That's Big Les. So good stuff from Incy. Nice and consistent. That's a 54.2, his first flyer after the stop. So pressures would obviously drop. He'd be hoping to get straight back into the 53. So offline, that's interesting. Oh, sliding it into turn one. And he's up, so it works. Just looks like it rotates so easily. So good stuff from Mincy.
We are halfway through, keep pushing.
There you go. Klaus the engineer tells us halfway through, and as usual, he's spot on. Apparently he's Austrian, not German. So he's a leader. So we'll just stay with these boys, because this could be a little bit of a turning point in the race. So Robbo's P3, he's got absolutely no obligation to get out of the way of Incy, even though they've got different strategies. So we'll just see what the Ince man can do. But it's great to see Robbo up there in the Bentley for SAR. Sure he'll be happy with that. I'm not sure whether they are really deliberately trying to break the toe or whether they're looking for a little bit more rain if their tires might be overheating. But that's how ruthless these boys are, and that's how ruthless Incy is. So he's going to send it up the inside of Robbo into Repsol here on lap 16. Robbo coming back at him. It's like, get that banana moving. Oh, oversteer. So Robbo definitely doesn't want to get caught, slip up on this banana. All fall for the banana in the tailpipe trick. Yeah, it looks like Incy's done it. Cleared him. And now he can get on with it. Braking into turn 10. And Robbo's not done yet. So Robbo's got good pace in that Bentley. K-Man will be enjoying that. So, good stuff from these two. Stu's in the pits. Stu is in the pits, I repeat. Just a little bit too late, so he's underway. So this is going to be... Is it going to be close, or am I tripping? No, it's going to be close. Incy out of the last corner. Robbo must be in the pits. He is. Stu is coming out of the pits. Incy. Stu's done it. Easily. Easily. So CK into the pits as well. So we're getting to the point where it looks like I think most boys have in fact done their first stops, but there is absolutely no way to confirm that. So unlike Sunday night at Baku, we might actually get some race protests going on, and there's a stop and go for the 516. So CK, that's devastating. Just devastating for the CK. So he's obviously come a cropper into the pit lane, and they're coming thick and fast now. So Robbo with a stop and go. Oh, that's painful. That is just painful. Stop and go. You may as well take a trip to the fridge and get a cold one. Or a cup of tea if that's your thing. So lots of cars in the car park. On the infield. Dino 6 seconds back of Incy. And a 135. Stop and go. Is that someone else? It is. It's Vert, but that's a drive-through. Oh. Oh. So. Oh, that's just painful. I feel for you, boys. So, getting caught out. Maybe just relaxing a little bit too much. Coming into the pit lane. Well, that's certainly going to throw a spanner or two in the works. So we'll just keep an eye on the overall timing. Oh, wrong one again. Sorry, kids. Let's just check in with Stu. So, coming up on a couple of back markers. Looked like one of them was green. And it was. So 6 seconds might sound like a handy lead, but anything more than a little bit of a slide and you can easily lose that amount of time. So CK, stop and go. Robbo, probably going to serve his stop and go. And Vert. So he's going to come in and get it done. That was Stu coming up behind Vert then. Yeah, it was. So CK back to 9th. He's coming out. Robbo's still there. So what's it done? It's promoted Mersey and Daz. So I think we were had a good contest tonight. Oh, that seems like a long time for Robbo. Okay, he's finally underway. That looks a little slow to me. Exiting the pit lane. And they're all done with their penalties. Yeah, so... And now Robbo's underway. Okay. So, Incy just falling a little bit further behind Stu. So, Andy and CK are very close on track. And is that Benji just ahead of them? No, it's not. Oh, sorry kids. So CK and Andy are battling it out for P10. Mersey is in. Let's see how long he's stationary for. Creeps into the pit box. So that's about 10 seconds or a touch over. So Mersey's underway. So that's Daz. And that's Mersey out of the pit. So is that Daz and Shamrock? It is. So this is P6 and 7. So Daz needs a little buff work on the front of the Ferrari. I wonder if that's as far back as the lap 1 action. But Shamrock's Bentley looks pretty pristine to me. And of course, not so much of an impact to be carrying a little bit of damage in the wet. Not as much as what it would be in the dry. Oh, look at Stu's pace. He's out to 9.2 and Dino's now 4.4 back of Incy. So Stu is looking good for it. But we might have a very good battle for P2 if Dino can keep that blistering pace up. Closed up a few seconds in only a couple of laps. So good lines from Shamrock. He's looking very, very solid. Let's check in with Psycho. Into Repsol. Let's check in with Les. So it's all quite a bit spread out now. So Les is on the main straight. Dino's P3. Incy's up there. And Stu is coming up turn 5. Psych pits, so that'll be his second stop. So it looks like a lot of these boys are sticking to the script. I really do wonder if their graphics are different. If not, it looks like they're all doing a very good job of taking care of the necessities. Let's just see how long he's stationary. Daz in the pits as well. So long stop from Psycho. Is he taking tyres? He could be taking tyres. So 17 minutes left. I mean, why not? If you got nothing to lose. And he's underway. That was easily 30 seconds. So Daz's Ferrari's gonna need a good buff and polish at the end of this, but no doubt he's having a great time. So look at that, Robbo and CK ended up well back, 11th and 12th. Wow, so that sucks the big one for them. Dino 1.9 seconds back of Incy. It is not over, kids. Yeah, it is, no doubt, Vic. But also he might not have anything to lose, so Psycho back to 8th after that stop. Maybe he just might be looking to keep it interesting for himself. So let's actually go on board. So Les pits. So let's go on board with the Dino, and that's what it looks like at the wheel of the ICR Bentley, the number 503. And that's Incy's Banana Boat just ahead of him. So big battle for these boys. They'll probably have to concede it to Stu tonight. He's looking quite unbeatable in the Bentley. But these two this is going to be a fantastic contest for the last 16 minutes, and they got a little bit of traffic ahead of them. Vic, do you know if any of these boys are streaming? Because that would be one way to find out what their graphics are. I don't know if anyone does. So 53A from Dino. Yeah, that would be the only way to really confirm it. Nice and deep on the brakes from Dino. I'm just going to go back to the external cam. Did I screw it up? I think I screwed it up. So let's do that, that, and that. And now let's go back to... So we can keep an eye on the overall picture. We're going to pick up Incy. So he's coming up back. I guess that must be Andy in the 148, and so Andy's yet again exemplary driving, letting the quicker boys through, and Dino will be hoping for exactly the same treatment. And who is that ahead of Incy? So Dino through, so Andy with some quality showing there. Is it Psycho? I think that's Psych just ahead of... Oh, wrong one. So that's Psych into the chicane, taking a bit of curb, and it is, it's Incy right there. So Psych's almost gone down a lap. So he is down a lap to Stu, but not to Incy and Dino. So I guess that might have been... I think you're right, Vic. That might have been a mistake for Psych, taking tyres when it might not have been intentional. 13 minutes to go. And this is the closest battle on track. Stu now out to a 12.7 second lead. So the Brucey Hale boys will be very happy with his performance. And Andy, of course, is the second place driver for BHR, so great driving from Andy to keep it clean, get it to the finish, bring home the points. But this is going to be interesting if Incy gets a little bit closer to Psycho. What will Psycho do? Oh, yeah, it looks like he's going to let him go. Maybe not. Oh, and Incy's getting close now. So once you get that close, I think you're always in danger of losing a little bit of time. Psych is not going to move over, so this is Dino's chance. I know it's certainly not sporting, and it's definitely not cricket for Incy, but Dino's going to make hay while the sun's not quite shining. Oh, and Incy will be unhappy. So Incy's through on Psycho. So Dino definitely closed up, but Incy's really got some good pace. Looks like he can just get back on with it. And by the time Dino has cleared. Psycho, still got to close up on him a bit. Alright, so with a little over 10 minutes to go. Oh, Inzy's huge sideways! Huge sideways! Psycho's going to come back through. So, Psych's not making it easy. Oh, he did make it easy, to be fair. But just when Inz looked completely comfortable, and are we going to see Dino appear in the braking zone? So down to 1.5 seconds. So Incy probably with a change of underwear or his firewear underneath his overalls at the least, and it's going to keep it very interesting for the last 10 minutes. So it's a lot of pressure on these boys. Always trying to get the best possible result for the teams. What's that? 4 or 5 laps. Stu out to 14.5 seconds. Andy pits. So let's check in with Vert now. So good stuff from the 135. He's definitely got some pickup on the side of the car, but the car itself looks quite pristine. So good job from Vert. CK crosses the line. 4.5 seconds back of Robbo. So he pushes on. Robbo. Oh, Robbo's off. So CK's through. Turn 2. Let's check in with Andy and P10. So he's on the exit of Repsol. So CK has got quite a bit of ground. That might be hard to close up on Andy from there. Alright, let's check in with Daz, P9. Down to the hairpin, turn 10. Onto the brakes. And Stu and Incy both pit. Benji as well. So everyone, it really does look like everybody's sticking to the script. And so Dino's going to make a late stop. Let's just have a look at Incy. Stu's underway. And Incy was, what, 14 seconds back of Stu. So any second now, and he's underway. So Dino leads. But it's going to need to be a hell of an in-lap if Dino's going to overcut them. It certainly won't stop him trying. In that low part of the track, it looks like there's a little bit more water on the track. If anybody is out there and is in communication with any of these boys, please pass on a message to get them to save a screenshot as soon as they have finished the race, because that would be one way to potentially help clarify what the situation is. Dino carries on. So I don't imagine that Stu or Incy would have had to have been stationary for fuel for very long at all. So let's let Dino do his thing. Check in with the big Les. Des pits. Yeah, so Stu's 27 seconds back of Dino, but that's not enough. Not even for a splash, splash and dash. So good stuff from Les. Where'd I get up to? So let's just check in with Mersey. And that's Dino. So Dino's going to pit. No, he didn't. My bad. So Dino is coming across the track. I wonder if he is trying to keep the tyres a little cooler. So, is that easy? 24 seconds back of Stu? So, Psych pits. Oh, has he had another contact? It looks like he's got a bit more damage on the car now. So if that's Incy 25 seconds back of Stu, and Stu is 27 back of Dino, so Incy may have had another moment, because that should easily allow Dino to complete his final stop. So I thought Psych, is that Psych's third stop? And he's underway. So let's just check out where Dino's at. He's in the final sector. So he's got past Mersey and he's coming up onto the back of Vert. Is this Dino's chance? It is. He's in. So I think all the boys truly have stuck to the script. So kudos to them all. That looked close. Code 50. Code 50. Alright, so... Incy's into Sector 3. Dino stationary. And he's underway. So Stu's definitely through. Where's Incy? Oh, Incy's a long way back. So Incy has had another issue. So Dino's going to be up to P2. Oh, that's a shame for Incy. He's had awesome speed in that Aston tonight. But he's just had a couple of small errors. Lost a bit of time in the last third of the race. And we're less than a minute to go. So where is Stu on track? So this could be the last lap. I think this might be the last lap. 46 seconds to go. And Stu's just in sector 2. So last lap, kids. Jeez, that went quick. So Dino P2. He'll be probably thinking about his pace early on in the race when he lost track position to Stu. Incy P3 squirming away. So always the entertainer. We love him. Big Les P4. So huge result for Les. Burrow and all the boys at GRT will be pretty stoked with that. Shami P5. So Shami's the lead SAR, and Benji is P7 for SAR, so 5th and 7th for SAR tonight. Mersey will be the second PNL driver. So 3rd and 6th for PNL, so good result. The leader has finished the race. We've missed the leader finishing the race, so congrats to Stu. And he's going to be P8. So he's going to be the P2 driver for BHR. And CK in P9 will be the second driver for ICR. After Dino P1, Robbo P10, Daz P11. Psycho did drop back to P12, so I did suspect that Psych ended up with 3 stops, and Vert in the grass. Bloody good camouflage for that green BHR McLaren, and that's it. So is Stu doing donuts? No, of course not. He's not foolish. He's going to bring home the equipment every time. Let's see what Dino's doing. Yeah, there we go. Go on, Dino. Light it up, mate. Light it up. Oh, he's back to the pits. Yep, take a screenshot. Everyone telepathically message Dino to take a screenshot. But I think it looks like all's fair in love and war. A couple of guys that I definitely can't confirm from my perspective whether they got their second stops done, but it doesn't matter. It is a wrap. Stu, Dino and Incy are the boys on the podium tonight. You're welcome, Vic. Always a pleasure to watch these boys. And that's a wrap, kids. So we'll move on to the next round, which is sprint round of Stedman in 2 weeks' time. And until then, stay safe, kids. Good night.